An electric parking brake can fail in two completely opposite ways. It can refuse to release and leave your car effectively stuck, or it can refuse to engage and no longer secure the car when parked. Worse, a partially released brake can drag while you drive, generating serious heat at the rear brakes. Unlike an old handbrake cable, an EPB depends on electric motors, wiring, sensors, software, and battery voltage. Here's how the system works, what actually fails, and what to do when it does. A traditional handbrake uses your arm to pull a lever, which mechanically tensions cables connected to the rear brakes. An electric parking brake replaces that lever with a switch. Press the switch, and an electronic control unit commands an electric motor to apply the brake. On many vehicles, small motors are mounted directly on the rear brake calipers. Other designs use one central electric motor that pulls conventional parking brake cables. On the common motor-on caliper design, the actuator, the small electric motor and gearbox attached to the caliper, turns a mechanism that pushes the brake piston against the pads. The pads then squeeze the brake rotor exactly as they do during normal braking. When you release the parking brake, the motor reverses. The control system monitors the process using electrical feedback and, depending on the design, information from other vehicle sensors. One major physical failure point is the actuator itself. The electric motor can wear out, its internal gears can become damaged, or the screw mechanism inside the caliper can bind. You may hear repeated clicking, grinding, buzzing, or a motor that runs longer than normal when the parking brake operates. Because these components work every time the brake applies and releases, mechanical wear becomes increasingly relevant as the vehicle ages. Corrosion creates another problem, particularly where cars see winter road salt, repeated moisture, or long periods without movement. Rust can make the caliper mechanism difficult to move, increasing the load on the electric motor. Moisture can also enter damaged actuator housings or electrical connectors. Once water reaches electrical contacts or internal components, corrosion can create intermittent faults before the system fails completely. How vulnerable the design is varies considerably between manufacturers and models. EPB faults are not always mechanical. Damaged wiring, loose connectors, corroded terminals, blown fuses, or problems inside the EPB control module, which is the computer responsible for operating the parking brake, can all stop the system working correctly. A dashboard parking brake warning does not automatically mean the motor has failed. Modern systems can store diagnostic trouble codes that help a technician determine whether the problem is electrical, mechanical, or related to another vehicle system. Low battery voltage can cause surprisingly strange EPB behavior. The motors need substantial electrical power, and the control modules also need stable voltage. A weak battery, jump start event, or battery replacement can sometimes trigger warning messages or require the system to relearn its position. Some vehicles recalibrate automatically after a specific operating sequence. Others require a scan tool or manufacturer procedure. Never assume the calibration process is identical from one model to another. The most obvious emergency is an EPB that is stuck on. You press the release switch, but one or both rear brakes remain applied. If the brake is fully locked, the vehicle may not move at all. If it releases only partially, the car may still drive while the brake drags. That creates friction and heat, potentially overheating the pads, rotor, caliper, and nearby components. A wheel that becomes unusually hot or produces a burning smell needs immediate attention. The opposite failure is just as important. The EPB may refuse to engage. You press the switch, but the brake never develops enough clamping force to hold the vehicle. That means the parking brake has failed at its most basic job. If this happens, do not rely on the EPB to secure the car. Follow the vehicle manufacturer's parking instructions. Use park on an automatic transmission or an appropriate gear on a manual, and avoid parking on a slope until the fault is repaired. Watch for warning signs before complete failure. Common clues include an EPB warning message, a parking brake light that remains on unexpectedly, unusually slow application or release, clicking or grinding from a rear caliper, one brake that does not release, or a vehicle that rolls despite the brake being commanded on. Brief warning lights during startup can simply be part of the normal self-check, so the owner's manual should be used to distinguish normal operation from an actual fault. EPBs also make rear brake pad replacement more complicated. On many motor-on-caliper systems, the actuator must first be placed into a service or maintenance mode so the piston can be safely retracted. Many vehicles require a diagnostic scan tool, although some manufacturers provide a switch or pedal sequence instead. Simply forcing the piston backward without following the correct procedure can damage the actuator or caliper. Always use the service procedure specified for that particular vehicle. Owners should also learn how their specific vehicle can release the parking brake if normal electrical operation becomes impossible. Some EPB systems provide a mechanical emergency release cable or accessible release point. Others use a manual procedure at the actuator, an external power supply, or a manufacturer-specific service method. There is no universal location under the trunk or rear seat. Check the owner's manual before an emergency happens, because discovering the procedure after the car is already immobilized is much harder. EPBs generally cost more to diagnose and repair than a basic mechanical handbrake, because the system may include motors, electronic modules, wiring, specialized calipers, and diagnostic procedures. A traditional handbrake problem might involve adjusting or replacing a cable. An EPB problem may require electrical testing, fault code scanning, actuator replacement, calibration, or an entire caliper assembly depending on the design. Exact repair cost varies enormously by vehicle, and independent specialists can often service systems that do not require dealer-only equipment. Maintenance is mostly about protecting the system around the actuator rather than servicing the electric motor itself. Address damaged connector seals, torn wiring, water intrusion, seized calipers, and weak 12-volt batteries before they create secondary problems. When brake work is performed, technicians should verify that both rear brakes apply and release correctly. In corrosion-prone climates, inspecting exposed connectors and brake hardware during routine service can help reveal problems before the brake becomes stuck. EPBs are not automatically unreliable. Millions operate for years without trouble, and their electronics enable useful functions such as automatic application and integration with hill hold or other vehicle systems. But failure patterns vary significantly by design, environment, age, maintenance, and manufacturer. The important difference is that when an EPB does fail, diagnosing it often requires understanding both conventional brakes and electronics instead of simply replacing a stretched cable. The most important rule is simple: never ignore an EPB that does not fully apply or fully release. A brake that will not hold can let the vehicle move when parked, while a brake that remains partially applied can overheat as you drive. If you see an EPB fault together with abnormal noises, resistance to movement, excessive wheel heat, or a burning smell, stop treating it as an electronic inconvenience. It is a braking system fault, and it should be diagnosed before the vehicle is driven normally again.